Hey guys, it's Gunther here from Outdoorphoto, and I'm going to break down the cracks in between the focusing systems. These mirrorless cameras are absolutely incredible, but they can be intimidating to a specific degree. And the big factors that you need to know, I want to display to you quickly. So we're going to do a screen recording of the focusing system and what I would recommend and what I won't recommend. To break it down in chapter 1 of this video, we're going to have a look at the differences between servo or one-shot focus. Depending on the brand that you're using, you'll be using AFS and AFC, or there's other couple of options. But in terms of what the focusing system offers you, when we're looking at servo, so I'm recording this on the Atmos Zato just to have a quick feedback through here. I'm going to hit that Q button and I'm going to change the servo to one shot. That is basically single shot. So I'm going to go through to the screen here, and once we've got the display here, I'm going to focus on Marie. I'm going to focus, it's going to give me a green dot, so she's in focus, lekker. I'm going to say action, and she's going to walk past. But what happens is the camera's just not refocusing. It's not continuously focusing on her. Ja, ek kan maar weer terug gaan, baie dankie. What you want when you're shooting subjects, especially if they are moving around, and especially with the tracking systems that are available in these mirrorless systems, you want to hit that servo, the continuous focus, AFC, or whatever you call it on your specific brand that you prefer. In these videos, I'm going to show you now where the blue block indicates it's focusing on her, just waiting for the passing by couple. So cute, they're still holding hands. They're like forever old, but they're still, it's cute. Okay, and action. She's gonna walk on, and I'm shooting, but whilst I'm depressing this button, it's just continuously focusing. So if we have a look at these images, they're all in focus. It's that continuous autofocus. That's what you want. Now, if we're gonna break these chapters up, I want you to think of autofocus, or the continuous focus, is in terms of distance. If your subject is moving or changing its distance relative to you, you need AFC, or continuous autofocus, or in terms of Canon, the servo mode. So what we're going to do in chapter 2, we're going to have a look at all the different focus methods that the cameras use. Some cameras have tracking options, some only have specific sets of focus type or focus points. In this specific situation, I've set up shortcut keys, so I've got an Amarie over there, focus, and it's tracking on her. So as soon as it picks her up, it's going to track on her face. Regardless of my composition or where I'm moving it, it's literally just sticking on her. And if it's a bird in flight and you've set it up like that, it's going to track the bird as long as it's in the frame. But if I want a specific focal point, I want to go beyond where she is, I'm going to switch to a single focus point, and I can take control. I can put the focus on there or there, and it's not going to jump to my subject. It's going to be where my focus point is. So if I move that blue block up to her face, it's going to focus on there. I can quickly recenter it, have it on her, have it in the background, have it on her, no problem. That's where it's going to focus. You are taking 100% control of where it's supposed to focus. When I switch across to tracking systems, then it's going to select a subject. Now, all of the high-end cameras these days have subject tracking built into the cameras. And that's going to take me to chapter 3. Lekker guys, just to interject quickly, and I have to point something out because I've got an Amaresh who is breathing down my neck to make sure that I give the right information through to you guys. So just to clarify on changing between these focusing methods, I'm just going to dive into the camera quickly. So if we wake this thing up and I go into the menu section right here, and I go and point out changing and limiting the AF area methods, we're actually honing down and taking all these hundreds of options depending on what camera brand you're shooting or which model you're shooting, and I'm kind of limiting them, and I've only chosen 2 specific ones for that. And that's got to do with my specific customization on the cameras that I use. Front button focusing, because we're not shooting DSLRs, and the whole theory around back button focusing is out the door. Front button focusing is now offering me the versatility where if I lift my finger and I press the multifunction key on the top of my camera, it is literally going to change between the different focusing methods that I've got available. So looking at the bottom left corner of this menu, if I press the multifunction button, it literally switches me between tracking and a single AF focus point and back to tracking again. So depending on what I need in this specific situation where I said changing between this and that, simply by using this little multifunction button, boom, I've gone from tracking to a single point. And then further customization, I would actually set up in the back button focus for eye tracking specifically. And that I'll dive into in a second in this video. Let's get back out there and check it out. Lekker guys, we're on to chapter 3. What we're going to show you and demonstrate in this situation is how the tracking systems actually work in terms of identifying a subject in your frame. Depending on what camera brand you're shooting, there are other options. There's aeroplanes, there's vehicles, there's people, animals, birds, you name it. With the R5 Mark II that I'm currently using here and demonstrating this focusing system to you, the options that I've got available is people, animals, and vehicles. Vehicles include planes, and obviously birds are included under animals. Ironically, we chose this spot because there's birds up here, and now that we're shooting here, there are no birds up here. So I'm just going to hit back onto people, and I'm going to turn to Amarie, and I'm going to focus on Amarie. Now the moment it picks her up in the frame, you can see that white box is just around her face. It's already identified a person, and it's going to stick onto her regardless of where I'm moving. If she's moving around or giving us a twirl around, it doesn't matter. It's sticking on her. It's nailing those shots. The focus is on point, but we can dive in an extra step deeper. If she approaches me or we do a close-up portrait where your depth of field is so shallow, that one eye is going to be in focus, it does become a problem. So you want that little bit of extra detail in terms of focusing. So if you take another couple of steps forward, thank you. Now we're going to get that lacquer blur in the background, but it is slightly dangerous in terms of focusing on the one eye. So if I take these shots and if I have a look there, shooting at f2.8, that eye is in focus. That eye is going out of focus. So just to make sure we are 100% accurate on the focusing, I've set it up that my back button now does eye tracking. I can simply hit that button and there we go on the eye. If she's looking out to the street once again and we take those shots, it doesn't matter because I'm focused on the one eye. If you are worried about the other eye being out of focus, a simple way that I kind of hide it, hang net jou hare oor die een oog en dan kyk jy weer uit. Doing something like that, hiding the one eye, and there we go. Nailed focus on the right eye, and we've managed to hide the out of focus eye, but it's also focusing on the eye exactly. So with her looking straight towards me, focus on the eye. There we go. Lekker guys. Hope this tutorial helped. Check it out. If you need any other information or you've got any questions, hit us down in the comment section below. Huge thank you to Amarie. She's the one that makes sure you get your packages on time. Guys, check it out. Get into contact with the go-to guys at Outdoorphoto and send us some comments in the love section below. Lekker. Cheers. See you later.